Hey, welcome back to the AL.com film room. I'm Matt Scalisi, joined by Cole Cubelic, our Auburn football analyst, and we're going to be taking a look this week at some plays from Auburn's big 45-21 victory over Arkansas over the weekend. Cole, it was an interesting game because we got to see kind of two different styles of offense almost with what Auburn was doing because they were using different quarterbacks, obviously with Nick Marshall coming in the second half and Jeremy Johnson starting the game.
It's pretty interesting, Matt, when you think about having two quarterbacks that are both capable. Both somewhat have different strengths. However, each of their strengths, the other is not really deficient in that department either. Jeremy Johnson can still run well. Nick Marshall can throw well. The others just seem to do it a little bit better than his counterpart. But the offenses do change when each guy is in, and I think this is not a quarterback controversy. In my opinion, this is not a problem or a negative. Nick Marshall was banged up last year a little bit. Look at the quarterbacks that went down in the SEC last year. Aaron Murray was hurt. Zach Mettenberger was hurt. These guys are going to take a beating over the course of a season. To be able to have two that you know can run your offense, that's a blessing.
Sure. First off, we're going to take a look at one of Jeremy Johnson's big early plays in this game where he was able to score a touchdown early with another of their many offensive weapons, Melvin Ray.
You know, the thing first and foremost that jumps out to me on this play, Matt, is the reads that take place, the recognition that Jeremy Johnson obviously already has in place. It's a zone read. You see it's a little bit of an offset pistol formation, and Jeremy Johnson is going to fake and then go out to Melvin Ray in the flat. Now, what I believe takes place here, the cornerback obviously crashes off the edge. This is immediate recognition between one, Melvin Ray, the receiver, breaking off his route, two, Jeremy Johnson, noticing that. Some of this took place pre-snap. Some of this obviously happens after the corner goes ahead and blitzes. But this is just good communication by a quarterback who has limited experience and obviously a receiver that wasn't in the system last year. And then to be able to go off the fake, which could have been a run before the play was snapped, and he checks out of that, goes ahead and gets the football quickly into the hands of one of his playmakers, Melvin Ray. He's able to make guy miss and go score. The play action is effective here because it's single safety. He sees that as well. That puts one safety deep in the middle of the field. Once Melvin Ray makes the corner miss, that safety, because of the fake, if he even takes one step towards the line of scrimmage, when that handoff is shown to the running back, he's pretty much out of this play, and Ray is able to take it to the corner of the end zone and score.
All right, well, now we're going to switch to when Nick Marshall has come into the game, scores a touchdown pretty quickly in the second half after taking over for Jeremy Johnson. What happens on this play?
Well, we've seen the arm of Jeremy Johnson, and now we'll see the legs of Nick Marshall and why he is so much more dynamic from that perspective in Gus Malzahn's offense. All right, so you see the defensive tackle towards the bottom of your screen. They're going to let him come upfield. Now, we'll take a different look at a play similar to this a little bit later, Matt, but what you're doing is allowing the defensive tackle to come upfield. Number one, he takes himself out of his play by alignment. Number two, if he plays the tailback on this zone read at all, which you'll see that he does, he tracks right a little bit with the tailback. Nick Marshall's just going to use the same principles he does with the defensive end. He'll hold the ball out, mesh, keep the football, and there's just nobody home. Both offensive linemen that would normally be responsible for that individual defensive tackle are now up on the second level, and Nick Marshall, of course, has the speed and the quickness to be able to make a play from that standpoint. This is a very dangerous play if this is something that Auburn is going to implement and run on a full-time basis because defenses have to prepare for this. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have to have a defensive end that's prepared for the zone read. Your defensive tackle has to be prepared for the zone read. I don't know how much more of this they're going to run. This could have been a fluke play they ran on accident, and Nick Marshall just makes a great play out of it. I don't necessarily believe that, but watching how this develops in the future in this offense is going to be very interesting.
Going to be just even more fun for SEC defensive coordinators.
A lot more time's going to go into preparation, that's for sure.